Our train reactor spitting fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your bitcoins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a
Oh my God. Hey guys, how am I sounding? Are we crispy? Are we crispy this morning? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, audio, loud, clear, crispy stereo. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, guys. Good to see you. Happy Monday, October the 21st. Deep into October territory. Man, feeling so damn good. All right, hang on. Let me get this show shared out. Murad coming maybe a minute or two late. What? I don't know where Murad is based out of, actually, guys. But I hear him on Spaces. I see him on other shows, and here and there some internet issues, so I think fighting through that right now. But joining in just a moment gives us a chance to hit the market. Gives us a chance for our Monday morning GMs. All right, give me a quick second. While I'm doing this, guys, do the same. Share out the show. Smash the like. If you're watching over on X, by the way, look, I'm going to do my best to see your chats over there, and I certainly want to hit Murad with your chats, with your questions, and there's a lot of them, which has been really, really fun. I got to say that. A lot of spicy questions. But I'm going to see them easier over on YouTube. Okay? So if you're watching on X, stay there. That's totally fine. Just hit the like there. Share it. But if you want to get in the conversation, come over to the YouTube side, our channel SlamX Official. I got my eyes on the comments there. It's where the gang usually is hanging out. Oh, it's so crispy. We had trouble this weekend, right? I do my weekend streams. Just a kind of a disaster. But you guys fought through it with me, so I appreciate it. Tickle, good morning. Choina, good morning. Gravity, Benny, Barry, Bang. Oh, it's the whole damn gang. The Boomer crew. I can't wait for Murad to meet this gang here. I think he's got the DGen side of things pretty well locked down, but does he know the Boomer crew? I don't know if he does. Anyway, again, I only think we have a couple minutes till Murad gets here. So I definitely want to take a look at the market. If I didn't mention it again, smash the like, share the show out. Make sure you're subscribed here to SlamX Official on YouTube. It's SlamXIO over on X. And, of course, you got to be following CryptoSlamIO over on X as well. Taking a look at the crypto market here, guys. Fantastic weekend, to be totally honest. Especially because we crossed that magic number, that magic threshold, guys. 69K Bitcoin. Yes, we did touch it yesterday. Falling just below now. And right now, Bitcoin, the laggard, behind ETH, behind Solana. But still, market looking pretty damn strong here. ETH 2,700, Solana 166. ETFs, tremendous volume last week, especially on the Bitcoin side. I'm not crunching the numbers here, but it looks like over 2 billion in inflows last week. Again, that's the Bitcoin ETFs, a monster week. And then following Friday here, 273 million in inflows. On the ETH side, look, it never matches what we see on the Bitcoin side. Maybe it never will. Probably never will. But a relatively good week. The fact that 4 of the 5 days were in the positive there, too. That doesn't happen often. Only 1.9 million in inflows. Still, we take it. We'll take it. Over into the NFT market here, guys. 14.2 million in NFT sales yesterday. Those cross-chain sales. Unique sellers down. Unique buyers down. Total transactions down. And trade profits still hanging around that million in the negative mark. Not dipping below. Hey, it's the weekly numbers. I really am excited to show off to you guys. Wasn't sure where exactly we were heading here. I really wasn't. Really, what to yank maybe Solana to 1K? I don't quite know, but maybe. I got some hopium for you. Look, meme coins keep doing what they're doing, and maybe they bring in another kind of liquidity, like next level stuff. Could be. But check this out, guys. Weekly numbers last week: 97.1 million in cross-chain sales. Man, oh man! Easily the best week we've seen in months. And I think we got to go all the way back to. Let's see. All the way back to the second week of June. No, I got that wrong. Second week. There we go. Second week of July. third week of July, whatever, mid-July, 105 million then. Look, I want to cross that 100 million mark, but we'll certainly take another up week here. Again, 97 mil, really, really nice. Unique sellers also pretty darn high. I care more about buyers, 405,000. That's a 25-week high for unique buyers. Certainly people getting more active here in the space. Love to see it. Certainly digging it. Hang on, 6-0. Let me see. I'm reading comments as we go because, again, you guys have got good ones. Murad's argument is meme coins actually offer a lot of utility. And it doesn't matter that they have no revenue. But how long can that... Dude, great question. Let me see if I can pin that. It's a really good question. And I like the argument. They do have utility. There's something to financializing, tokenizing communities and just the energy around them. It's not a thing that existed before, really. There are pockets of it. There are examples of it pre-crypto. There really are. But man, oh man, something different now. And then real quick, we'll look at the top collections move in this market here. We have the Bored Apes at the top. Oh man, makes a ton of sense after Ape Fest this weekend, which was awesome. The launch of Ape Chain, the launch of the Top Trader platform. Really, really great stuff coming from those guys. Followed by D-Market, Pudgy Penguins, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Guild of Guardian Heroes, Fraganas, Bitcoin Puppets, my sweet baby-based angels. You know my thoughts about them. Higher. And so rare. All right, we do have the man in the house, Murad. Hey, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to come up. Otherwise, I'll let you sit and get ready. You're good. He's good. He's good. Murad, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you joining. No, for real, thank you for joining. Like, as easy as asking, and you're just that willing to come on board and talk about, you've got some awesome predictions. So just being willing to come on and talk with me about those predictions, share it with the community, like, it's very cool you would come on the show. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed I usually don't respond to every single direct DM, but I noticed you're rocking a Project Eon NFT. And if somebody is rocking either a Project Eon NFT or a Sproto Gremlin, then I answer immediately.
Oh, I love it. Dude, and I got into those just in time, just before they kind of went, kind of parabolic. And I'm shout out to Confusion. There's some guys, and we might get into this during the show. There's some guys I pay extra attention to when they talk about a meme coin or even an NFT project. Like when I hear them talk about it a certain way, it means something a little different. And so my friend Confusion, something clicked with him with SPX specifically. And that was all I needed to know to go look at it myself and be like, okay, I've heard of the token. I didn't understand it yet, but I'm like, let me go check that out because he sees something. There's something there. Anyway, it took me all of 5 seconds for it to click. Like really looked at it, understood the community, felt the energy in the community, got the meme. And that was it. And then it was getting into the NFT side. I want to get back to that at some point too, like this interesting dynamic of fungible tokens that drop an NFT, how that works, but the flip side doesn't seem to work as well, and maybe that changes at some point, but it worked for me, and for that reason, that was my exposure to the XPX community, was getting an NFT that was kind of more affordable, and there's so many other reasons it works well, but dude, so much fun stuff to get into here. Why don't we start with, well, hell, let me put your X account up on the screen so people who don't know you can see. I think everybody here probably knows you. But I guess to that point, man, okay, I was mentioning just before you joined, I got a really boomer audience. I do. I just like a little older group. Very savvy, but boomerish, and they know well about you. We also have at Crypto Slam a very professional audience, like doctors, lawyers, people who are not really crypto native, but they're crypto curious. For those people, maybe more specifically, could you introduce yourself and how long you've been in the space? And we'll get into thesis stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Murad. Got my earliest Bitcoins in 2013, but I've only been doing crypto full-time 2017 onwards. Been doing a bunch of different things in the space, investing, trading, angel investing, building in DeFi, obviously writing, tweeting, on-chain analytics, and a bunch of other things. This cycle, my big focus is meme coins and doing a bunch of different things with meme coins, analyzing them, trying to understand them, trying to kind of tweet and talk about my findings, my thoughts, and obviously just personally buying what I think are the best ones and the most undervalued ones for 2025, and just kind of everything in between as well.
Good stuff. By the way, you had a really interesting arc like the growth of your account, you as a personality. Like, can I call you a KOL? Is that accurate? I mean, actually, I think it fits you better than most out there. Like, you've got some very strong opinions backed by a lot of good data and experience. And man, it's coming at the right time. I got to say that.
Yeah,
let me
I
ask.
don't I don't love the term because up until like 2021, no one in crypto used that term, no matter how big your account was. But I think in 2021, 2022, there's been an influx of like influencer marketing and PR companies or like working with projects behind the scenes, and they brought this sort of Web 2 terminology into the space, if that makes sense.
Yes. Oh yeah, it definitely does. It does. I do. I ask this to everybody who comes on the show, actually. So I got to ask you for crypto, and it sounds like you were in very early next level though, like 2016. Like, what was your aha moment? What made like crypto and just all this blockchain stuff click where it like kind of changes you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a libertarian kind of for a really long time. But just generally speaking, overall interest in finance, interest in economics, interest in the history of gold, and whenever I kind of started getting earliest exposure to BTC, it all made a lot of sense to me. I think I went through the arc that a lot of people go through whenever they come to crypto. You first join.
I know he's freezing up for you guys. I think that's his side. I think anyway, we'll fight through it. It's totally fine.
Up like very, very quickly, right? They join when price is going up very, very quickly. For me, it was November 2013 for the very first time. Then it was December 2017 for a lot of people, I imagine, and 2021 peaks for others. What I'm trying to say here is the attentional peak is always at the top of the parabola, right? So that's like mathematical, it's by design. Most people come at a top. That's just the way it works, right? That's just the way it works. And then you spend the subsequent bear market studying monetary history, economics, the history of money, and you kind of piece the puzzle together, so to speak. So I think a lot of people went through a similar arc as well.
I love when I like when people state sometimes obvious things, but they state things that we live through. Sometimes you don't think about it till somebody else says it. I came in at the top, basically. I'm sure most of you guys also, again, came in at the top, and it played out exactly like you said. It's magic, so of course you're in love with it during that time, and then you're just hooked through that next bear market or that downtrend to study, learn, and I think everybody here has gone to battle learning and feels like they're pretty well prepped for this next cycle that's coming up, that where it feels like we're starting. But you've got a really interesting outlook on what's coming and the changes that have happened in crypto since the last cycle. Like, I've not heard a lot of people say it, although you mentioned, I think also on the Rasmus Spaces, people have DM'd you and they've shared similar thoughts, which is really cool to hear that people really do. A lot of people see this same thing. It's pretty great. I think it's a great sign for, I think, how educated the space is getting. But again, you're coming in and helping educate people who maybe didn't see it yet. It's pretty important to me. What is your general thesis on what's coming here? Again, you've been the guy saying meme coins are reaching these astronomical levels. There's going to be a shift away from altcoins. Can you get into that? Explain what it is you see and why?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So first of all, for the people who want to kind of hear me talk about this for 20 minutes straight, do check out the video that is pinned at the top of my Twitter profile.
So the token 2049 speech?
Yes, yes. However,
Awesome
I'll
stuff.
do my best to kind of give a TLDR version of this. So essentially, in 2017, altcoins became popularized in the world because a lot of people made a lot of money with them. And a very critical difference was that a lot of altcoin valuations back then started at reasonable valuations, right? I believe Ethereum initially started at 36 million, which is right now sounds absolutely crazy. Binance token started at 25 million or something along those lines. Link started at 30 million. So these are all reasonable valuations, right? And there's many factors here, but just looking at it from the valuation standpoint, when you start something at 30 million, the people that join early, they can they can ride the entire adventure. They can be there for the whole story. Their participation can be much more meaningful in their own eyes. And last but not least, they can actually catch those 100x, 1000x's in the liquid market realistically, right? Now, what's going on for a variety of reasons, VCs, angels, founders, centralized exchanges, the game theory has become such that in 2022, 2023, a lot of these similar sort of tech project launches, when they launch a token, there's so many private rounds happening in the shadows that by the time something launches, it starts trading at like 5 billion, 10 billion. Sometimes even we've seen 25 billion, right? And when something launches at such an expensive level, suffice to say that there's no money to be made for retail here. And essentially, the valuations are so high that for all intents and purposes, retail is just getting fleeced. Retail is just getting fleeced directly, aggressively, unceremoniously, right? And the way I see it is meme coins have emerged as essentially young people's counterattack and a pushback against all of this, right? People, after a decade of what I've described, people are finally kind of realizing that the product isn't actually the software. The product is actually the tokens. And if the product is the tokens, then arguably the token and the community is more important than the software itself. And that's what a lot of people like almost like accidentally have discovered this cycle emergently, right? They've accidentally discovered this. And now people are asking themselves, why should we even spend our money to buy software that no one uses with some very, very loose token at $16 billion valuation when we can build tokens that are purer, cheaper, more decentralized, more well distributed. The actual memes are much better because it's focused on the memes rather than the software.
Right.
And these things can go much more viral in next year on Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and everything in between, right? And so we are realizing that a lot of the time it's not about the software platforms, it's about the interplay between the token and the community. And because of it's essentially always been about the community, and community is the most important thing. And if you make like the community angry, like if you launch at $15 billion valuation, like no one is going to be passionate about this. No one is going to be buying this. And so, however, if you launch early, the story is honest. The story is pure, and people can participate. And it's actually like much more genuine and much more organic and bottom up. And this is essentially why meme coins are dominating. And I think meme coins are essentially going to obliterate everything next year.
Oh, man.
So the story is, I think we're still early, right? Just because people need to understand, we are in an algorithmic bubble. We are in an echo bubble. And just because we've been talking about this for like 8 months or whatever, doesn't mean that we're late, right? Our brains, we might be bored of this information, but 99.999% of the world isn't in memes. Institutions are not yet in memes, and most of retail aren't in memes. Not to mention the trillions, the $1 trillion that is still quote unquote stuck in altcoins, right? So I think meme coins are still small. The new ones, especially, and I'm personally biased on the new ones. I think the new ones, like the top 10 new ones, I think are going to outperform Doge and SHIB. So I don't even look at Doge and SHIB at all. I look at the new ones, and the new ones, they're like $12 billion. So that's very cheap, in my opinion, right? And that's including Pepe and WIF and the other big ones, right? So ultimately, I still think we're early, and I still think my gut feel is that we have one more year of this to go. So I'm trying to make the most of 2025.
1 year for like this, I mean, it's pretty exciting right now. So 1 year before things kind of downtrend again, before some kind of pullback, or a year before we see something even bigger.
Yeah. Okay. So depending on whether this is going to be more similar to kind of like 2016, 2017, or 2020, 2021, or it might be even something different altogether, which is also likely. I think we have somewhere between like 7 and 13 months of this to go. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to make the most of 2025.
At some point, the cycles maybe get obliterated, right? Like at some point, maybe it's hopium, but I'm still hoping we get some mass adoption event that just supersedes any kind of cycle. I used to think it was maybe NFTs and metaverse stuff, and I don't think it is. At least this cycle, it's not. Maybe we're still way early for that, and I lean that way. But could meme coins be that thing that really do bring in the masses more for like the gambling part of it? Internet culture, people who just get memes more than maybe a different generation?
So I think what you're going to end up having isn't cycles going away. I think you're just going to have cycles like dampening, if that makes sense, right? I think that the timing, it might shift away from the 4-year to either something slightly longer or something shorter. And more importantly, the massive booms and the massive busts, I think they're also going to kind of narrow down a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Like
to answer. So to answer your question, I don't think it's a singular. I don't think it's a singular mass adoption event. I think it's a series of like 10, 15 mini mass adoption events, right? So BTC brought people in 2016. Ethereum and ICOs brought more people in 2017. I think NFTs, DeFi brought people in 2020. I think NFTs and the metaverse stuff brought people in 2021. I think meme coins are going to bring people like this year and next year. So it's not any one thing. I think it's a bunch of speculative. I think it's a bunch of speculative cycles that ultimately benefit the crypto industry as they bring people into BTC, Ethereum, Solana, wallets, etc.
Yeah, I like it. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, meme coins. Your predictions that we'll see maybe a meme coin, maybe multiple meme coins at like $100 billion market cap, multiple at 10 plus bill. And I would assume many more at just like $1 bill plus. And that happens from, and again, I like how you put this, basically a vampire attack on those altcoins. Do I have that right? And if so, okay, Raoul Pal talks about like the crypto market having, I don't know, like $100 trillion, market cap. It's going to be $100 trillion market. Are you guys kind of saying the same thing? You're talking about a different asset that's going to see, going to see big price increases when that same thing happens that Raoul Pal is talking about. Is that, are you guys saying a similar thing? And I think it goes along with the wild Bitcoin predictions, price predictions, like Michael Saylor's predictions. I know you think 10 million Bitcoin, something in that ballpark. It's all kind of part of the same conversation, right?
Yeah. I actually think we're going to see 200 trillion for BTC, measured in today's dollars. So, I mean, in that future, the actual nominal number might be different, obviously, but in today's dollars, I can see 200 trillion. And obviously, this is not going to happen overnight. This is like a 30-year prediction, right? And it's going to happen like in waves. But ultimately, I do believe that BTC is going to become like the global like monetary reserve. And if that happens, obviously, like the sky's the limit. And $10 million in today's purchasing terms for BTC is not crazy. I do think BTC is going to be the disproportional sort of money of the future. I do think it's going to be the dominant store of value. There still might be some space, obviously, for maybe some cash flow generating alts, maybe some like very large and successful like meme coin communities, cults, whatever you want to call them. But I do think the bulk of it is going to be BTC.
I love it. Cults. I think cults is the hardest thing for at least some of my friends to understand. Right, the idea of tokenizing communities and it's like tokenizing their energy, and you probably can put this a lot better than me, what it is we're tokenizing and why they do so well and why cults have the kind of power they have. And maybe I try to explain it as it's not terribly different from a fan club of your favorite band, or you're a fanatic about a movie or a TV series, or, a rock star, any of that stuff. And this is kind of a new evolution of that. But again, I think you could explain it better. What are cults? Why are they... Man, why are people throwing so much money behind them, and how sustainable is it?
Yeah, so when we say the word cult, we essentially mean a really, really, really strong community. That's pretty much it. I think meme coins are a continuation of the NFT philosophy, but because of certain structural and financial reasons, I think meme coins are going to end up being 50 times bigger maybe even more. And it comes down to the nature of like the actual asset. So even with successful NFT collections from 2021, what ended up happening was you have 3,000 people promoting 10,000 illiquid JPEGs, right? However, here the situation is much more scalable, efficient, and effective, because what you'll end up having is 1 million people promoting one single liquid token. And you see how much more powerful that is, right? Because instead of the attention being diversified into 10,000 pictures, all of that attention is kind of focused on a single token.
Right.
And not to mention, with NFTs, the success kind of becomes its own limitation, because a high floor price becomes too expensive for middle income or low income people to participate in. But here, no matter where we are on the rise, people of all sort of income levels and social classes can participate, because it is fungible, right? Because you can buy one coin, you can buy 1,000 coins, it doesn't matter, right? In terms of cults, right? Like I said, cults just mean really, really strong communities. Fundamentally, meme coins are about many things, right? It's everything that you had with NFTs, but also it's so many different things in one, right? If you speak to a lot of meme coin leadership, some view them as currencies, other view them as like some form of like a digital message that they want to put out there in the world. Other model them as kind of future DAO equity. Others view them as kind of a foundation for future network states. Other view them as these like quote unquote cults and sort of these like tokenized communities, right? Other people, like, it's a combination of art, it's a combination of an alternative financial asset, it's a combination of kind of community and people, and a bunch of other things that I kind of described in the video that's pinned on my Twitter.
And do you think some of those cults really do last, multi cycles and could some decades? Like, again, we're seeing something interesting with Doge, and it does speak to how early this is. We'll see how long Doge lasts, and Sheeb and Pepe and whatever this new class is that's coming up. But your gut, does it tell you that we're going to see meme coins that last like a kind of a forever cult? Or do you think they'll all kind of fizzle out? That's kind of the energy of this space in our attention span.
Yeah, I don't want to say forever, but my personal belief is that 3 or 4 of the current crop of new meme coins will end up being multi-cycle like Doge.
SPX. Well, we'll say that's a given. That's an obvious. Giga. I'm just basically rattling off your list.
Yes. Yeah. So if I had to pick like 5 or 6 ones that I think are most likely to be multi-cycle, I would say SPX 6900. It's completely different from everything else.
It is.
It's more like a movement rather than a meme coin to me. GigaChad, I think it's very powerful. I think GigaChad is very similar in terms of like its framework and its theory to Doge, but Doge culturally peaked in 2012. And while GigaChad is like probably hasn't even peaked yet, you know what I mean? So it's like Doge on steroids, no pun intended, I also really like Apu. I also really like Mog, and I also really like Ticker Bitcoin.
Yes.
Ticker Bitcoin already kind of had its own initial situation in 2021, and it kind of got reincarnated in 2023. So it already has some evidence of it being able to survive multi-cycle, which is worth something. So I think it's likely to outlast. It's kind of like a cockroach. It's kind of like a hedgehog, which is very resilient, right?
Yep.
These are some of the ones that I like at the moment.
Dude, SPX is so good that when I again first started diving into it, I actually went and looked for like a light paper or a white paper, because again, like it's part of the meme. It's talking about using ethereum technology to flip the S&P 500. I'm like, oh shit, they're doing something. They're building a product. And I go dig and I dig and I dig, and when I finally realize what it is, I'm like, you motherfuckers got me. I love it. Like it's a different kind of meme, and it's, dude, top shelf, really freaking good. It is different. It feels different than the rest. And then being in the Telegram and the Discord, and just that's a cult. When you know, guys, if you miss the energy, and I'm not shilling this thing, I don't care if you guys buy it or not. I'm just saying, as somebody who has been paying attention to it, if you missed the energy of what Discords were like around your favorite, NFT project or whatever, I get those vibes around those people, just different energy. It's something about that just feels like, I don't know, what you'd want out of a community. It just feels like, I don't know, like a cult. Like a cult, we'll put it that way.
It feels very much alive and full of passion.
And that people just like the meme. It gets like the same way like my reaction when I realized that it was just a meme, not tech. Like, I don't know. The fact that it got me and I understood like kind of the wit behind it. That's just kind of the magic there. I got some questions, like some Murad questions here. I'm going to skip. We already touched on the first one again, KOL stuff, your status in the space. I mean, you can, if you have any thoughts or want to share anything about how you feel about the new recent rise to fame, you can go there. But I'm more curious about what's your favorite stuff in the space tech-wise, because I think you are a techie guy, right? Maybe outside of meme coins, what products, what tech, what platforms do you see the most innovation? Do you like the most? Are you using the most?
In terms of kind of more attention on me personally, I'm just trying to take it with humility. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like I said, I still think we have another year of this. So I'm just trying to be humble and stoic and focus on work and focus on kind of investments rather than celebrating. So just essentially just trying to lock in. As for the technology that I like in the space, my favorite technology is BTC, Bitcoin. I also like Ethereum and Solana as a technology, but we need to understand that our discussion of these things as a technology platform and our discussion of these things as a currency or as a financial asset are completely different discussions, right? So I like all three as technology, but BTC I think is the best in terms of the financial asset, if that makes sense.
It does. How do you feel about all the L2s now? I know some people get concerned with like kind of, I don't know, watering things down, having liquidity so spread out. I don't mind it. I don't think it's something you can fight against, and I don't think it's worth any energy if you can't stop it. Kind of like fungible tokens. I imagine there's going to be like an infinite number of blockchains to some degree. But yeah, your general thoughts on L2s, and yet another launching here just over the weekend with Ape Chain. Just thoughts on how the ecosystem looks now.
Yeah, so I'm keeping an open mind on the off chance that the Ethereum ecosystem will manage to make kind of like automatic bridging, automatic swapping, automatic like abstraction of as many things as possible, extremely seamless behind the scenes. But in the short to medium term, as it currently stands, Solana is a lot more friendly for kind of speculation and other simple dApp use cases. So like I said, I think the whole Ethereum versus Solana debate, I don't really find it interesting. I hold all three. Like I hold BTC, ETH, and Sol personally. I don't think it's productive to try to figure out like which is going to win. It could be either. That being said, I'm quite confident BTC is going to be the predominant money of the future. As for the speculative side of it, I think Solana meme coins are going to do better than Solana, and I think the Ethereum meme coins are going to do better than Ethereum. So that's precisely why I'm focused on BTC and meme coins rather than the chains themselves.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, about Bitcoin, I have a lot of people asking, actually probably the most people asking about this than anything else. Thoughts on the Ordinals ecosystem and runes, and I guess my question about that is more, it has to do with NFTs. Well, actually, let me give you a different question. I'll work to the Ordinals and rune stuff. Are we going to see an NFT cycle again, or do you think that they revealed themselves for what they are and maybe more what they're not? Are they disruptive tech? Are they going to change the music industry and movie industry, or are they just these collectibles that are also like meme coins tokenizing communities?
I think they're going to be used kind of behind the scenes for a bunch of stuff, but that does not necessarily imply that you're going to be getting those 100x type returns that you got last cycle. I think that speculation side of it, it has been absorbed by meme coins. And my thesis for NFTs is that the NFTs that will do well this cycle are those that have a meme coin collection attached to them. Essentially, Sproto Gremlins and Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu, Apu NFT and Apu Coin, obviously Project Eon and SPX 6900, Retardio and Retardio Cousins. So these I think are going to do well. Quite possibly Bitcoin Puppets and Pups. Essentially, when there's a sister NFT collection and a sister meme coin, it acts as a two-way feedback loop where the NFT collection helps people spread the word about the meme coin on social media, but at the same time, the wealth effect from the coin feeds into the valuation of the NFT. So they kind of both help each other. And the NFTs that don't have a coin are going to be at a disadvantage. That's why I'm particularly bullish on those 5 collections right now.
So then why has it worked out, at least so far, where it's like we said, earlier in the show, have a meme coin first and then launch an NFT works better than have an NFT then launch the token? Why is that?
It's because this is a meme coin cycle. So because this is a meme coin cycle, the quote unquote like the teams and the communities that have figured out that it's a meme coin cycle or have believed in meme coins earlier, they have this advantage of having that extra year from 2023 or whatever it is to kind of build the early foundation of the meme coin, and then you add an NFT on top of it. So in this case, NFT is almost like a cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
But what you're starting to see right now is a lot of NFT collections from like 2020, 2021, and they haven't been doing anything for the past 3-4 years. And now they're essentially launching a meme coin. It's kind of like a cash grab, essentially. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Doesn't feel organic, and that's so
why
important.
The other way. No, exactly. That's why the other way around is, in my opinion, is much purer.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And what about like ERC 404s, DN 404s? Is it just going to take the right? I mean, it still has to be a meme. It still has to be something that resonates with people. 404s won't just work because they exist, right? The whole idea of fungible token that holding X amount turns to an NFT, cool. But you got to do something actually cool, funny, clever, whatever with it, right? Do you see that actually catching if you have the right idea, if you have the right meme?
You're talking about the hybrids, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I think the hybrid tech is cool, but it's like it doesn't really make a difference. Like, I mean, it's just like a nice to have. You know what I mean? It's not like revolutionary. Right? Like, I'm not gonna go. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, like I said, their whole argument is that it puts like the liquidity all in the same place rather than splitting between the collection and the coin. But my pushback against that is that like these coins are going to be so ridiculously successful that the like 5% of that value being split into the NFT is not going to bother anybody. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? This is not a 100x improvement. It's just a nice to have. So.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to put it. And then, okay, now this is how I get it to like ordinals and I'll work it towards runes because the people want to know. Okay, ordinals, if NFTs really haven't been this, again, groundbreaking tech, like it's actually awesome tech and I think super useful. I'm with you. I think behind the scenes it's going to be used for, I don't know, storing files like the DMV is doing with these things, tokenizing licenses, all of those things, and I think so many more. And I still think the metaverse is going to play out and it will have a resurgence. I do think like the wearables and stuff will have its cycle. I to some degree think we'll see a 21, 22 type cycle again, but further down the road when those metaverses really exist. But for now, while most NFTs are just collectibles, do ordinals have an advantage over like ETH NFTs? Like, are they more pure? The fact that they're on chain, the fact that they're on the mother chain, is there just something inherently better about ordinals?
So I think their advantage comes from the fact that BTC is a very wealthy chain, right? But technologically speaking, I don't think there's a particularly big difference. Like the logic The logic behind why they would be or wouldn't be valuable is the same. It's just that it's a different chain with like a different code base and a different community. Ultimately, it's all about people at the end of the day. That being said, I'm not like a rune or an ordinal expert. I have to kind of stay in my circle of competence, so to speak, if you can even call it that. But in terms of what's going on, I like Bitcoin puppets the most out of everything I've seen on BTC, and I think node monkeys are cool as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think
I
Quantum
do
Cats
think
were
I
on
do
a
think
list of
that
yours.
yes, quantum cats were there as well. I do think that runes and ordinals will do very well in 2025, as Bitcoiners will have a wealth effect of their own, and will want to either speculate, dabble, or flex like in the ordinal sort of
Yeah.
ecosystem.
Oh, dude, I get so much pushback on that because I do see huge opportunity on that side. For that reason, it's a lot of these guys are going to make. I mean, we talk life changing money, but like, there's a type of life changing kind of money you make where when you get spendy and a little reckless, it also doesn't change your status or how much you almost think nothing of it. You are set in a different kind of way, and so I also think ordinals are going to see. I don't know if it's like outsized potential, but crazy potential that I think is going to shock people. But I also wonder that about runes. Like I've seen these charts showing like the amount of liquidity or the market caps of meme coins in Solana compared to the market cap of the Solana token itself. And then the same with Ethereum and the market cap of all its meme coins, and how on Bitcoin it's like nothing. It's like it almost doesn't even exist, the fungible token ecosystem compared. Do you think that runes have a potential at least for those outsized gains because of that alone?
Yeah, so that's a good argument. The counter argument to that is that the average Bitcoiner is less of a gambler than an average ETH and Sol holder is. So these kind of two effects they counteract. Uh, that being said, I still think we're early in the ordinal rune and the overall BTC fungible ecosystem. So I'm bullish on it as well. I'm just not as good at like picking like the winners and the losers, right? If that makes sense. I'm bullish on it directionally. Spend enough time in the BTC ecosystem to tell you what I think is like the most memetically powerful, because I've been spending most of my time on Ethereum and Solana.
Do you have any plans? Like, are you going to put any mind share to Bitcoin to get more involved in that ecosystem, or just organically as it happens?
If it happens organically, yes, but I think that we only have so many months to go until the end of the cycle, and my logic in why I'm focused on Ethereum and Solana is because like the infrastructure and the technology around it is so much easier to use and so much more retail friendly and normie friendly. Ultimately, you do need, like, whether you like it or not, these parabolas, these crazy once every 4 year performances of altcoins or meme coins. They happen when like retail comes in, and I think it's just going to be much easier for the rest of the world to kind of integrate Ethereum and Solana chains. So that's why I think most of the speculation will happen there.
That's a great point. I don't know how much longer I have you, so you give me a heads up whenever you got a boogie here. But I can keep firing questions as long as I got you, man.
I probably have like 45 minutes left.
4 to 5.
Yep.
Cool. Let me hit you with this, and hopefully we don't end here because it's a little more. It could be. I don't know. Whatever. Fears about regulations. Anything like Black Swan event. Anything incoming and imminent that could impact. God, I guess all of crypto, but maybe specifically meme coins. Are you worried about this here in the States? Gensler sounds like he's going to put his foot down on DeFi platforms specifically. There were some comments made just a few weeks ago. How do you hedge against that? What are your thoughts on that in general? Are you worried about these regulations? And to some degree, are you just watching to see how this election plays out in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I'm watching to see how it plays out. Sometimes I hear people that don't do crypto full time try to give their opinion about crypto stuff, and it just sounds so cringe when you actually understand the topic at hand better. I feel the same way about politics and about regulation. So I don't like to pretend that I have alpha in this sort of on this topic. Ultimately, I think crypto is going to go higher as a whole. regardless which party wins. I do think that Trump is probably marginally better, but ultimately crypto is going to go higher no matter what. And again, I can't, like, this is not financial advice, this is not legal advice, but I think this is one advantage, yet another advantage that meme coins have over DeFi, is that there's a bit less of that regulatory complexity, right? So that's another reason.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the next couple of weeks are gonna be really telling. Guys, remind me, when is the election coming up?
I think November 5th.
Dude, it's so close. It's so close. And yeah, I mean, the implications are big. I like that you say, to some degree, it doesn't matter who wins. You're right there. I mean, I think it's one of the reasons all of us had that aha moment with crypto at some point. You realized it can't be stopped. There will only be efforts to try to stop it. But ultimately, yeah, you cannot stop this tech, which is pretty damn exciting. So, well, yeah, we'll see who wins and the kind of impact that has. Okay, outside of your list, pretty fantastic list, by the way, but of NFT projects, is there anybody from, like, let's say the class of 21, 22, and we'll say NFTs specifically because there weren't a ton of meme coins back then, but somebody that stood out to you as a great community, cult-like, in maybe separately, and maybe it's the same thing, but doing something innovative? If you can't tell, I still love NFTs, and it is all about the community stuff, but I like to see if you see any magic still there.
Milady, this is a very strong community.
Milady.
Can't fight those guys. Nope. Because they've impacted the culture a lot. That's for sure. I like CryptoPunks. I think they are the Bitcoin of NFTs and will probably remain to be the case. So those two are the strongest ones. I think 2023 is when it came out, but I really like Schizo posters as well.
Oh, I don't even know those. Hang on. Schizo posters?
I think they have some of the best artwork that PFP NFTs have ever seen.
Dude, okay, hang on. I think I need to pull these up. Guys, am I crazy? Have we never talked about those? Do you know those? I'm talking to chat here. Do you guys know Schizo posters? Dude, for the life of me. All right, bear with me. 1 second, I need to see it. These are a 22 collection? Like, what year were these?
I think 2022 or 2023.
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to find them here. Damn.
Do you want to just pull them up on Blur in front of for everybody to see?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Right collection here?
Yes.
Hell yeah. I've never seen these guys. I've literally never seen, and I feel like I've seen everything. And maybe not shocked they've slipped between the cracks, but okay, I dig. Schizo posters. What's their lore? What's their story? Their meme?
Well, obviously they are a Milady derivative, but they combine generative AI together with like a variety of kind of schizo posting and conspiracy theories, and all of that is kind of embedded on the edges of the art, and I think it's just super aesthetic as well.
Yeah, dude, they look amazing. They really do. I'd have to deep dive these for people who are maybe not so plugged into to meme coins. I didn't used to be before, like I don't know, 8 weeks ago or so. Like I missed the whole spring run. Just stupidly thought NFTs would be back enough that I could just like be lazy and not focus on meme coins. And again, like 8 weeks ago, I'm like, no, you don't miss this. You can you just sense something really big is coming, and it's important, and it is the meta. It is what this cycle will be. Where should people not in meme coins yet be looking? And how important is it that they look if they want to be, like, forget the speculative side or the money side, like if they just want to be current with where the energy is, where should they be looking?
Yeah, again, I mean, not to pat myself on the back too much, but I think my 21-minute video that's pinned at the top of my Twitter profile, it kind of gives a good overview about why this altcoin to meme coin shift is happening. And then once you kind of internalize these reasons, you can go and develop your own framework about how to pick what you think are future winners, how to pick undervalued ones.
Yeah, and let me put that up here again. And dude, I mean, pat yourself on the back for this one at least, because I think it came at the right time, and it was saying the right thing at the right time. I just think people needed to have they needed to be reset, their expectations. What happened last cycle clearly is not happening this cycle, and I think unless somebody was saying this like you, I think people were going to go in like I was, expecting that to just happen again, and it's not. It's a very, very different ecosystem now. And I like how you put it, actually. I think you called it like a much more matured ecosystem, and that's what the meme coin craze right now really is showing. Do I have that right? And if so, can you speak on that a little bit? And I also, I still don't know if I heard it right. 4 or 5 minutes or 45 minutes that you had?
5 minutes. 5 minutes, unfortunately.
Okay. You got a boogie here then in a minute, so yeah.
So a lot of people think that the rise of meme coins means that the crypto industry is like becoming more degenerate. My actual contrarian view is that it's actually a sign that the industry is maturing, because what meme coins are doing is they're separating the software and the speculation into two separate boxes, and are focusing on the speculation part and the community part, essentially isolating the software part to be like a separate thing. So essentially, meme coins are saying the rise of meme coins is essentially telling altcoin creators to stop creating unnecessary tokens, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it really, really does. Do you think this cycle, altcoins still, I'm assuming, go up this cycle? Is it just that they go up less, or do you think they actually bleed out this cycle in a way we've seen NFTs most of this year? Kind of they had a little bit of a pump and then just bleeding out. Does the same thing happen with alts?
Yeah, I think altcoins are going to have small pumps, and meme coins are going to have huge pumps.
Man,
pretty simple, in my opinion.
I'm here for it. Man, I'll let you go as much as I want to keep going, and I love talking about this stuff. And again, I'm dialed into the meme coin stuff, and I'm excited about it because it does feel like that. Again, guys, if you missed the energy from last cycle, it is out there in one specific place, and it is that meme coin ecosystem. So I recommend looking. I recommend following Murad here. Definitely, guys, watch that video if you haven't already. If you've watched it, you probably want to watch it again. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. So, dude, GG's to you. And again, thank you for spending the time with us, but also putting time into helping everybody really understand. I think people watching this now who maybe haven't seen you speak before realize you're different. You're different. I'll use the KOL thing, even though it feels whatever. You're a different kind of KOL, if we use that term. So appreciate you doing what you're doing, man. Let's get you back on here sometime. But thank you, sir.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Happy to. God, I might stick around. I might keep the stream going. You're welcome to bounce any point. I might stick around and do a little ape chain talk, or what? Yeah, what the hell? We'll save that for tomorrow. Guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks again to Murad for coming on the show. We'll be live this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with Henry the Grape, the Great Joe, on the Non-Fungible Idiot Show. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you later.
Appreciate it. Thank you.